Good morning, dear students. I've come back with my video classes today. Okay, I hope you have all read the lesson Tolstoy Farm. I've sent a message in the WhatsApp telling that you will be having Google Meet every day and the classes are also given. So, all the classes be ready by 7 a.m. Today, 9th A, tomorrow, 9th B, Wednesday, 9th C, then again Thursday, 9th A, Friday, 9th B and C. So this will continue uh, till I tell you. So every day you will be having Google Meet and I expect most of the students to attend it. Okay, now we have to continue with the exercises which I discussed in Google Meet for 9th B class. So you just take page 64. In Tolstoy Farm, there is a reference to various skills. Identify them and fill in the bubbles. Skills like independent living, carpentry, cooking, shoemaking, gardening, etc. You can write that. Carpentry is a skill, cooking is a skill, shoemaking is a skill, gardening is a skill, another skill. You must be familiar with Gandhiji's concept of education. By education, I mean an all-round drawing out of the best in the child and man, body, mind and spirit. So education means it is an overall development. Not only developing the educative qualities like studies or reading or writing or getting marks full A plus, that is not education. But education means it is an all-round development. You should develop mentally, physically, spiritually. That is called education. How far is it true with the learning experience in the Tolstoy Farm? Write your answer in a short paragraph. Please make an attempt to write that. Then activity 1. There were no servants on the farm and all the work from cooking down to scavenging was done by the inmates. What is your opinion about this practice? Harida Keralam, Organic Farming, Biodiversity Park and Swachh Bharat Drive are some of the programs in school. They require the active participation of all students. They also include work that some may hesitate to do. Do these programs promote dignity of labor among children? What are your views? Conduct a group discussion and prepare a write-up based on the main points. So based on the main points, write a write-up. But what you say, that is, whatever work you can do on your own. Then, next is activity 2. Gandhiji says, it was my intention to teach every one of the youngsters some useful manual vocation. List out the vocational skills mentioned in the text and complete the following. So, what are the vocational skills here? See, carpentry means it is the jobs related to vocational skill is carpenter, furniture, designer, interior, decorator. Next is you can write shoemaking. That is another skill. What do? You cut leather, stitch, make shoes and also repair shoes. That comes under shoemaking. Next, supposing it is gardening, it is another skill. Then what do? You have to prepare the land, plant seeds, nurture it, water it, manure it, weeding should be done, insecticides should be used, pesticides should be used. These comes under gardening. Now what about cooking? Cooking, there are different ways of cooking. That is different methods. You can try out many experiments. The dietitian will help you to know and you should prepare a balanced diet. The work of the dietitian is that they give you a balanced diet, that is regularizing your diet. Everyone can benefit out of this type of vocational education as it provides an opportunity to learn a skill or trade. It helps you to earn a living, self-employment, self-sufficient. The child will be able to do electrical, carpentry, plumbing and repairs himself. So if you get a skill in vocational, that is vocational skills, you will be self-made, self-sufficient. If anything goes wrong in your house, so something wrong with any of the electrical equipments, you can do it yourself. Supposing it is regarding the pipe in your bathroom or pipe in your wash basin, you can do it yourself. Gardening, You can cut trees, you can manure, you can plant trees. All this can be done if you develop the skill, that vocational skill. Consolidate your points and conduct a talk show on the topic. So with 9th B, I have discussed the talk show. 9th A and C, you can, I will discuss in the Google Meet today for 9th A. So we'll discuss about the talk show, what it is and how we will conduct that. So the rest of it I will discuss in Google Show. Next page, take 67. Language activity, activity 1. The child was condemned to die of hunger. The woman gave vent to various cries of horror. She pressed the baby to her heart. Mikali's heart trembled with joy. Now I have read 4 sentences. What is the first sentence? Let us analyze that. The child was condemned to die of hunger. It is a sentence from maternity. This sentence has 2 parts. As you all have learnt in smaller classes, one side is subject, the other side is predicate. Here we are talking about the child. So the child is the subject. Which is the subject? The child is the subject. The child is the subject. And which is the predicate? Was condemned to die of hunger. The second sentence. The woman is the subject. Gave vent to various cries of horror is the predicate. She pressed the baby to her heart. She is the subject here and the baby to the heart. Press the baby to her heart is the predicate. Mikali's heart trembled with joy. Mikali is the subject and heart trembled with joy is the predicate. So now complete the table. The child was condemned to die of hunger. The woman, she, Mikali. So left side column is subject and the right one is the predicate. Now again more analysis. Now read the passage below and identify the subjects and predicate. Now you can do that. The little child was crying for milk. Mikali had no money in his pocket to buy milk. The poor boy approached the women round. All the women in the camp who saw the child gave vent to cries of horror. A kind Chinese woman finally gave it milk. But a subject can be a single word or a group of words. See the first one. The little child is the subject. The little child, it is a phrase which contains the noun child. So such phrases are called noun phrase. So subject, noun phrase. The little child is the subject, but since it has more than one word, it is called a phrase and the little child is the noun phrase. See the second part. Was crying for milk. It has 4 words. Was crying for milk. That part is the predicate. So crying is the verb. Action words are verbs. Naming words are noun. Action word is crying. It is a kind of action. So that is the verb phrase. So that group of words has an action word that is called the verb. So that phrase is called verb phrase. The first one is the noun phrase and the second one is the verb phrase. Now find out the other subject noun phrases and verb phrases from the above paragraph. Mikali. Only one word is there. So that is the subject. Had no money in his pocket to buy milk. That is the verb phrase, so it comes under predicate. Likewise, complete the table. Now again we have to analyze these sentences. In a typical sentence, a noun phrase is immediately followed by a verb phrase. See the first sentence, the little child is a noun phrase. Was crying for milk is a verb phrase. So a noun phrase is immediately followed by a verb phrase. A noun phrase can be a noun, a pronoun or a group of words that does the function of a noun. You know what a pronoun is? Pronoun is a word that stands instead of a noun like he, she, it, they. So that can also be included in the noun phrase. A verb phrase consists of a helping verb or a main verb. Is or are can also be included, which may or may not be followed by other words. So it may be followed by other words or may not be followed by other words. So just mark it. This column is very important. Now we are splitting it. The little child was crying for milk. The little child, I have to add little. The little child was crying for milk. Again we can divide it into two. One is the little and the other is child. Again this can be divided into two, the and little. Whereas this has only one part. So the first one is the little child. Again divided into two, the little and child. Again divided the and little and child. So first one, what is it? Consists of a determiner. The is a determiner. The. It is called a determiner. Little is an adjective. Little milk, small, big. It qualifies a noun. Adjectives are words which qualifies a noun. So remember all the 8 parts of speech. Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective. Adjective is a word that qualifies a noun. Here child is qualified by little. So first the is a determiner, little is an adjective, and of course child is a noun. So that is called analyzing a phrase. A noun phrase is analyzed. See the next one, verb phrase. Was crying for milk. How many words are there? Totally there are 4 words. Was crying for milk. So first we divide into 2. Was crying for milk. Next again dividing into 2. Was and crying for and milk. So was is a helping verb. It is helping a verb. Here verb is crying. It is being helped by the word was. So helping verb plus verb. For is a preposition. Again the part of speech. For. Prepositions shows a position. In, on, it, of, to. All this comes under preposition. Preposition plus noun. Milk is a noun. So I hope you all understood. So a sentence is divided into subject and predicate. A predicate contains either one word or a group of words called a phrase. That is called a noun phrase. A predicate consists of a verb and it is called a verb phrase. When you analyze a subject noun phrase and the verb phrase, you get the determiner, adjective plus noun, and here you have a helping verb plus preposition plus noun. So you should know the parts of speech well and you should identify to which category each word belongs. Next, the head word of the noun is a noun. Head word of the noun phrase. What is the head word? The important the little child. Like child ആണ് head word because you are giving importance to the child. That is a noun. So that is also called a head word. Please underline that. The other words are used to give an additional information about the head word. So here child is the head word. It is called the head word. The other two are giving more information about the child. The little child. The other words are giving additional information about the head noun. Thus, the obligatory element in a noun phrase is the noun. Any other element is optional. Now, what are determiners? Articles, a and the. Possessives, that is my, our, your, his, her, their, its, Gandhiji's. അതാണ് possessive. എൻ്റെ, നമ്മുടെ, അവരുടെ, അവളുടെ, possessive. അതാണ് possessives എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Then and also demonstratives. This, that, these, those. Demonstrate ചെയ്യുക, ചൂണ്ടിക്കാണിക്കുന്നവരും ആർട്ടിക്കിൾസും possessivesഉം ഒക്കെ determinersന്റെ കാറ്റഗറിയിൽ പെടും. Now let's have a look at the following sentence. All the women in the camp who saw the child gave vent to cries of horror. Identify the noun phrase and the verb phrase. How can you identify? Really important. Head noun ഏതാണ്? Women. അപ്പോൾ ഏതാണ് noun phrase? All the women. All the women in the camp. എവിടെയുള്ള women ആണ്? All the women in the camp. So women is the head noun and all the women in the camp who saw the child. That is the noun phrase. അപ്പോൾ അത്രയും വലിയ noun phrase ആണ്. All the women in the camp who saw the child. That is ആ women ഉള്ള importance. ആ കുട്ടിയെ കണ്ട സ്ത്രീകൾ. So that is called a noun phrase. അതിൽ വേറെയും വരുന്നുണ്ട്. Now, the is the determiner. Determinant മുന്നിൽ ഒരു word വരുന്നുണ്ട്. All. So it is called a predeterminer. The is the determiner. All is the predeterminer. Women, of course, you all know it is noun. In the camp. In is a preposition. So in the camp is a prepositional phrase. In the camp. That phrase contains 2-3 words. That is in the camp. So in is a preposition. So it is called a prepositional phrase. Who saw the child? Who saw the child? Who? It relates. We have learned relative clause. Who, which, where, when. All these are called relative clauses which joins two parts of the sentence. Who saw the child? That is called a relative clause. So again we have analyzed it. See, predeterminer plus determiner plus noun plus prepositional phrase plus relative clause. Predeterminers or pre-articles are those items which come before the determiner in a noun phrase like half, half of, all of, some. All these are called predeterminers. Now the structure of the noun phrase of a sentence can be as follows. Predeterminer, determiner, adjective, noun, prepositional phrase and relative clause. Now complete the table. A. Women is a noun. The women, how do you write? Determiner plus noun. All the women, how will you write? Predeterminer plus determiner plus noun. All the women in the camp. Predeterminer plus determiner plus noun plus prepositional phrase. All the women in the camp who saw the child. Predeterminer, determiner, noun, prepositional phrase plus relative clause. So please fill it up. Analyze the subject part of other sentence in the passage given above in the same way and identify the constituents. Work with your partner and write down the ideas you have discussed. So analyze all the sentences which are given in page number 68. So you can analyze and write it the way it is given in the table. Now what are your conclusions? The sentence has two parts. Which are the two parts? Subject and the predicate. The subject part is usually a noun phrase. The noun phrase may consist of all this: predeterminer, determiner, adjective, noun, prepositional clause and relative clause. The predicate is usually the verb phrase. The verb phrase. It comes under verb phrase. Now let us see what a verb phrase consists of. Look at the picture and identify the verb phrase in the sentence given. The duckling left the pool. The duckling is the noun phrase. Left the pool is the verb phrase. The duckling left the pool in the morning. So in the second one, left the pool in the morning is the verb phrase. A fox was waiting for its prey. A fox is the subject. Was waiting for its prey is the predicate or the verb phrase. The fox killed the duckling. The fox is the subject or the noun phrase. Kill the duckling is the verb phrase. The fox took rest at the pond. The fox is the noun phrase. Took rest at the pond is the verb phrase. The duckling died. The duckling is a noun phrase and died is the verb phrase, or you can also say it is as a predicate. Now let us analyze the first one. Now read the sentence again and identify the verb phrase along with its constituents. First one, second one, left the pool in the morning. So how many words are there? Left the pool in the morning. You can divide into two. Left the pool in the morning. In the morning is a prepositional phrase. Left the pool. Left is the verb phrase. The pool is the noun phrase. So left is a verb phrase and the pool is a noun phrase. A verb phrase consists of a finite verb alone or a finite verb with some other words which give additional details about the verb. ഒരു നിശ്ചിതമായ ഒരു വേർഡ് ഉണ്ടാവാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുറച്ചധികം വേർഡ്സ് ആഡ് ചെയ്യും, which gives an additional information. Now read the sentence again and identify the verb phrases along with its constituent. Verb phrases: died. Verb phrase plus noun phrase. That is, here you can write left the pool. Left the pool. Verb phrase plus prepositional phrase. Which is it? Left the pool in the morning. Verb phrase plus prepositional phrase. Likewise, you can write verb phrase, noun phrase and prepositional phrase. Verb phrase plus noun phrase. Verb phrase plus noun phrase plus prepositional phrase. So you have to make sentences using the following constituents in the verb phrase. You can write a verb phrase. What is a verb phrase? Left the pool. Verb phrase plus noun phrase, you can again write left the pool is a verb phrase plus noun phrase. Verb plus noun phrase plus prepositional phrase. Left the pool in the morning. Likewise, complete that exercise. Okay, so we have come to the end of all the activities. The rest we'll discuss in the Google Meet. Now write down the meanings, difficult meanings. I'll be asking you questions in my next week's video class. Google Meet. Okay, dear children. So we'll start the next unit on Friday. Song of the Rain. So till then, you have to read the lesson, write all the exercises into your notebook. Thank you. See you in next class. Study well.